the talkbirdietome with former world number 16 Nick O'Hearn and tour pro Mark Allen, live from Titleist and FootJoy headquarters. And thanks to our great partners, Titleist, they're the clear number one ball in golf. FootJoy are the number one shoe and glove in golf. Driving a BMW is like hitting a perfect shot. Smooth, controlled and powerful. Ping, they'll help you play your best. The Golf Clearance Outlet beat everyone's prices. And Better, the fastest and easiest betting app in Australia. Now, from Titleist and FootJoy headquarters, it's time for Talk Birdie-Timmy.
Hello, everybody. This is a feedback podcast. Before we get going with your questions, Dan, or your feedback, just have a look at these shoes. Now,
what are these?
These are design your own. So I did these myself. There we go.
Are they the My Joys?
They are the My Joys, and it's got the English pebble, and we've got lizard skin here and there. Did you know they had albino lizards? You didn't know that, did you?
Seriously? Come on. Oh, come on.
But there we go. Anyway, so the reason I'm telling people about it now is because it takes about 5 weeks. So if you're thinking about doing something special for somebody, or if you're going to get a Christmas present for yourself, it takes about 5 weeks to go. So you're in the right zone. Go to footjoy.com.au, fiddle around, you'll find the make your own, and away you go.
Well, remember the shoes I got the other day from Tim, the new Quantum textiles?
You're
Look at these
babies.
babies. Hey? And I tell you, they are so comfortable.
What I can't get over is that tread. I've never seen tread like that. But you know when you look at tread and you go, that's going to work for golf?
I'm surprised I got my leg up there.
That tread's going to work for golf. You're not going to move, not even in a fairway trap. You won't move.
So good.
You're away.
Can't wait.
Do you know something else good for Christmas too? Golf Clearance Outlet have Christmas vouchers, which you can get. Fantastic Christmas idea for someone who loves golf, but you're not quite sure where to get them.
Good on you. Well done, Sam Colossimo, for thinking of that stuff.
Okay, all right, boys. Time for a bit of feedback here. Now, this is interesting. We've got a few whacks, and I thought we'd just lump them all together and just take our medicine.
Oh, good.
In one go.
It's a whack sweet. It's a whack pod.
That's the way.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
I think that works. All right. And the good thing about these whacks is they're balanced. First, we might start with one for Nick O'Hearn.
Okay, bring it.
Okay.
You know I'm subject to criticism.
This is, you can be a little sensitive, yeah. Okay, this is from Kevin. Just a bit of a rant actually. I'm sorry, Nick. Long putters are an abuse of the rules of golf and should not be allowed. Some people have kept their careers even though their putting was shite with a normal putter. I'm sorry, guys. You users of long putters are cheating by stretching the rules to help your inability. And I think that is sad.
Well, Kevin, you've had a real crack. Throughout my playing career, I used the broomstick putter because I was allowed to, basically. When they brought the anchoring ban in, I went away from it because I didn't like unanchoring.
Yeah.
Easiest way to solve the whole issue, I've always said, is make the putter the shortest club in the bag. Yeah. Fortunately for me, I can putt with a short putter. I just got to do it the opposite way, which is fine, which is no problem.
But you're on record as saying that you don't like the long putter the way it is anymore, and you're saying exactly what this fella is saying.
Yeah, kind of, sort of.
Yeah. I think that's
players extended their careers. They probably have because they've been allowed to use it. And
Bernard Langer.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. Now, again, it could be a bifurcate the rules scenario that we've spoken about on other pods. I mean, look, if you got the yips, and I've always said recently, especially, if you got the yips, go the opposite hand. That solves it. But if you're still having issues, try the long putter as well.
Well, see, I think the bifurcation stuff is absolutely perfect for this as well, because the last thing we want is people to stop playing golf because they have got a severe case of the yips. Yeah. So I think if you're playing in a handicap competition, you should be allowed to anchor, you could do whatever the hell you want.
Totally.
And the reason is because if you anchor and you play, or if you don't anchor and you've got the yips and you play off 24, and then all of a sudden you do anchor and you get rid of the yips and your handicap magically comes down to 18, well, the handicap takes care of
itself. Yeah,
it takes care of itself. So I think if you're playing in any handicap competition at all, and even in flights of club championship, all right, so if you're in the C-grade club championship, it's okay. No worries. You can use it. But if you're playing in scratch events or professional golf, then you cannot use it in any form, would be if I was making the rules.
All right, so Kevin's had a whack at Nick. Should we go to your turn now, Mark, and have a look at that one?
I'm ready.
This comes from Parrot. Mark, regarding Elstonwick, I like your podcast, but this is a case of you talking absolute rubbish. You are obviously not aware that this area was wetlands before settlement. It often floods. It is naturally wetlands. And the council come up with an excuse not to restore the golf course. That's how politics is played. You guys are playing politics, so don't complain. That area is close to the most over-catered for location for golf in Australia, and the park as it is very popular for the locals. I disagree with many people's criticisms of golf. I play, I love it, and it's an option more people should consider, but Elstonwick is the wrong hill to die on.
Disagree. My God. Honestly, I drive past that park all the time. There's nobody in it anymore.
I've never seen anyone in there.
Never anybody in there. There's never anybody in there. And by the way, before it was Elstonwick, it used to be Kingston Heath. So I don't know what he's talking about.
Really?
As far as the wetlands, that's right. Kingston Heath moved from the Elstonwick site to where it is currently.
Really?
Okay. Let's see, must have been...
How long ago was that?
1920s or something. So I think Kingston Heath's been around since 1909.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So I don't think
Maybe
Kingston Heath was built on a wetlands.
I think
that
everything
would be
was-
insane to build a golf course on a wetlands. So I'm not sure what this character's talking about.
Well, Parrot's pretty strong in his views.
No, that's fine. Good on you, Parrot.
All right, this is a whack for really for both of you, all of us really, but certainly both of you guys mainly. This is from Carlos. He's talking about your comments last week about how you don't really get into live too much.
That's right.
Okay.
Carlos has said this. This doesn't make sense to me. How can you have a podcast about golf but not watch live, just the PGA? If that's not biased, well, I'm not sure what bias is. How can you possibly make an assessment of something that you don't even watch? I would suggest watching the highlights as a bare minimum. Just saying.
What I do, watch the highlights as a bare minimum. Have tried watching it. Can't get into it. It's not my thing. At the same time, do I watch PGA Tour all the time? Not really. I watch the highlights on that one. Same with the DP World Tour. If it's on, I'll throw it on because I do like the commentary on those ones. PGA Tour is hard to watch now because of the world feed.
Yep.
Not a fan of it. I like watching a bit of Asian Tour highlights every now and then. Again, I'm more a highlights guy. The only ones I ever really watch is the majors. I'll watch the majors. It's a bit like... what were you saying earlier, Dan? Something about Test cricket. I love watching the Ashes. I watch the Test cricket. I don't like watching T20 or the one days or something like that. I watch the highlights. That's what minis are for, by the way. I love watching the KO minis. They're so good. Yeah. Every sport.
That's right. Carlos.
Oh, he's getting ready here. I can feel it.
What the hell are you talking about, Carlos? I mean, honestly, look, what we do at Talk Birdie, if the only thing that we spoke about was tournament golf, this podcast would have been wrapped up ages ago. So what we do at Talk Birdie to me, we prioritise because tournament golf is it's a big part of golf, but it's not it. There's so much more to it. So we prioritise. And I've got at the top of the tree the PGA Tour. And then I've got the DP World Tour. Then I've got the ladies to watch. And then when the Australian golf is on, I'll put the Australian golf on. And unfortunately, live golf, the way it's been played, I know it's a new format coming out soon. Live golf, they got a dozen players of note, probably a dozen players that no one's ever heard of before in our entire lives. And then you got probably about 24 players that were falling off the PGA Tour and the DP World Tour. They were on their way out and they found a nice little home there. So what, are we going to watch for 12 players? I don't think so, Carlos. I mean, if you like the music and you like the shortness and you like everything else, then good luck to you.
No, exactly. Not quite our cup of tea, but hey, thanks for listening and watching the pod, by the way.
That's right.
So we've had Kevin, we've had Parrot, we've had Carlos who've given us a whack. Are you up for another one?
Any whacks for you, by the way, or not? No?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, not at the moment, but please don't encourage it because you know what's going to happen. Well, here's another one. Okay, this one comes from, where's it? Oh, okay. This one comes from Shane. Guys, your interview with Damien DeBowen from Golf Australia was very soft regarding the new handicapping system. From my perspective, a month in, it's really struggling in many areas, and I was really looking forward to you guys tackling this with him, and we got nothing. At my club, there's many issues. A round that should be in my best 8 is not counted. It's looking at my last 21 rounds, not my last 20. I've been playing in recent comps with a one-shot handicap advantage, which is not fair. Plenty of other issues. Not good enough, and you should have called out Golf Australia on it.
I haven't used it yet, so I don't know.
Haven't you? No, look, there are not many people. I know it's affecting some people, and we are sympathetic to the people who have been hurt or not so much hurt, but have been inconvenienced by the new handicapping system. We are very sympathetic, but the great majority of people, as far as I can understand, are going okay. It's a different look. You know, I think maybe that can be tidied up a little bit, the look.
It sounded as though Damien was taken on a case-by-case basis.
Yeah, that's right.
So when you have a complaint, send it in, and I'm sure they'll look into it. And
but there's always going to be teething when you're doing something so large. Yeah. I mean, it's a huge job to go from one to the other. And when we asked him why the change was required, I mean, what he said made sense. You know, the technology that they had when Kathy Freeman was winning gold at the Sydney Olympics was 25 years ago. You look at a phone and how that's moved from the 2000 to what we have now, and everything else, TV, DAB radio. I mean, just so much has changed. FootJoy golf shoes. The technology has just moved on. So I understood that. I thought that was a reasonable answer to why we had to make the change.
Yep.
Is it perfect? No. We'll see what happens. I mean, I want to give it 6 months before we tear it all apart.
I don't think – I mean, look, it would have been really easy for you guys to sit here with Damien and just line him up and go through every little niggle or issue that's come up. It wasn't going to achieve anything. He's not shying away from the fact there's been some issues.
Yeah,
He's been quite open about that. And there continues to be some, clearly, and they'll deal with them. And if you're having issues, reach out to them and they'll fix them.
That's right. So if 5% of people are having issue with the handicap – yeah, that's not perfect, but you know the great majority of people, life moves on. Hardly anything changed.
Yeah. Okay. We can relax a bit now.
Right.
That's the wax out of the way.
Yeah.
For today, anyway. I'm sure there'll be more to come at some point in time. You want to chat to a wolfpacker?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
We've got Rod, who will give a call in a sec. He wants to discuss Jack Newton.
Jack Newton.
Jack.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, okay.
So we'll have a chat to Rod right after this.
That'd be great.
From Titleist and FootJoy headquarters, this is talkbirdietome. We're here for BMW, luxury and comfort for the 19th hole. Ping will help you play your best. The golf clearance outlet beat everyone's prices. And Betr is the fastest and easiest betting app in Australia. Now, for Titleist, the #1 ball in golf, and FootJoy, the #1 shoe and glove in golf. Here's Nick O'Hearn and Mark Allen.
Righto, we're about to hit off the 10th tee on this feedback podcast. And Dan, we've got a wolfpacker.
We have
all set to
wolfpacker.
go. Yep.
We have wolfpacker here. Rod sent a message in who wants to have a chat to you guys about the great Jack Newton.
Okay.
Oh,
So hopefully it's not another whack.
Yeah.
That's the last
We've had a
thing I
few
need.
today, Rod. So
Where is he? There he is. G'day, Rod.
G'day, Mark. G'day, Nick.
So you heard us talking about somebody. Who was it?
Yeah, well, I heard you talk recently about Jack Newton, the great Australian professional golfer. And for some of your younger listeners, and I'm talking younger being under 60, they're probably used to Jack Newton as a commentator or as a great developer of junior golf throughout Australia.
mm-hmm.
And of course, many of you would have only come into contact with Jack after that terrible accident that he had about 40 odd years ago. But what I wanted to highlight was a personal experience that I had with Jack Newton prior to that, and it was early 1975. And anyway, it was the first time I'd ever seen a tournament professional play golf. And anyway, he came down to Woolooware Golf Course, which is a course in the Sutherland Shire near the Cronulla area in Sydney, southern suburbs of Sydney. And it was a great privilege to see Jack hit some balls. And anyway, the local pro here, Barry Bent, who was a young assistant pro, I think, in those days. He's still a pro at Woolooware even now, I believe,
Wow.
50 years later.
Oh my
Good on you,
gosh.
Baz.
And anyway, he, I think it must have been him that organised it. But anyway, Jack Newton came out and he had a brief chat to us, and then he started hitting some balls and started at the wedge and finished with the driver. And one of the incredible things was the incredible power in his game. Like, he was hitting these wedge shots, and they take off on a much lower trajectory than what your normal sort of wedge shot would, but it just kept going up and up and up and up and up, and then landed so softly, and it was such a wonderful display of control and power. And he worked all his way up through the one saying that he had was he liked landing the ball like a butterfly with sore feet, and that's
Lee Trevino.
That's how it looked when his wedges were landing, And then he worked his way up to the driver, and he was hitting off the first tee at Woolooware, which anyone who's familiar with that course, it's a gentle dogleg par 4. In those days, it was around about 420 yards, and there's a creek about 100 yards in front of the green. Anyway, he was blasting these balls with a Persimmon driver, and they were going into that creek. And the thing that I remember was that when he hit the ball, you could hear it fizzing through the air as it left the golf club. And I'd never, ever seen that before. It was absolutely incredible. And then after he displayed all the shots, he was then kind enough to come along to and also Barry hit a few shots as well, which was good too. And then after that, he took the time to come along to some of us kids. I was a teenager at the time, and he gave us a few swing tips.
Beautiful.
And I think that was a forerunner, really, to his interest in junior golf. And, it was a great experience. And, I followed his career after that with a lot of interest. He even came along and gave me a couple of tips. And I was standing there I only had my mum's golf clubs. I didn't have my own set. So I'm standing there shaking in my boots with my 5-iron in my hand. And anyway, hit a couple of bad ones, and then he gave me a couple of tips. He told me, Rod, you need more shoulder turn.
Yeah.
And then I hit one of the best 5-irons I'd ever hit. So he turned around and he said, yeah, just hit them just like that. That'll be fine. And then he moved on to the next.
Isn't this fantastic?
Fabulous. Very good.
So,
it was a great experience, and I took a lot of interest in his career after that. Of course, even later on that year, he got a runner-up in the British Open.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I thought 1975 was the runner-up to Tom Watson at Carnoustie.
Then they had to play 18 holes on the Monday, didn't they? Because they were tied.
Maybe, I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure they did.
Was it
They had
a
to play. Yeah, they lost in the playoff to Tom Watson, and I think that was on. Back in the day, we had to come back and play 18 holes
and keep going.
And of course, I think that was Tom Watson's first major.
Could have been.
The way I remember it, anyway. But look, that's definitely one of the first majors I can remember back in 1975, so 50 years ago. I think you make a really good point there, Rod. Not many people, when Jack was on fire. I mean, he came second at the Masters to Seve Ballesteros. Yep. He came second to Tom Watson, lost in that playoff. But he used to bomb the ball, and he used to bomb it like almost a Peter Lonard swing. It was a short swing,
it was really
big
strong,
shoulder turn, big strong forearms. But the one thing about Jack that I will never forget, his ability to putt was just off the charts. He won the Australian Open at Metropolitan Golf Club hitting it sideways. I promise you. He was hitting it sideways. He might have straightened up in the last round, but certainly the first 3 rounds, he was hitting it all over the place. But his putter won him that Australian Open at Metropolitan all those years ago. Great memories.
He helped me with my putting one year at the, where was it? I think it was the year, I ended up winning at Coolum that year, the Australian PGA Championship. And earlier that year, might have been the Australian Open and the Masters that I'd played. And I'd played great, but I'd putted terribly. And he got me, he said, Nick, I want you to lean your weight into your front leg. He said all the great putters in the history of the game have always leant into their front leg. And I thought, really? I've never really thought of that. I started doing that at Coolum, and Shot 22 under for 4 rounds. Although I think this works. Although I did 3-putt the last to force a playoff.
Isn't it amazing when somebody of note gives you a tip?
Yeah, it's so good.
I've said this before. I used to hate the feeling of putting with my shoulders. Anyway, one day I'm there putting away and Finchy came up.
Oh.
And, of course, Finchy was the greatest putter in the history of the world at that stage of the career. It wasn't long after he won the British Open. And he looked at me and he goes, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm just not putting so well." And he goes, "Do you use your shoulders?" And I said, "No." Like I'd heard. Anyway, he told me to use the shoulders.
Yeah.
So, of course, I started using my shoulders.
Simple.
And then I went off on my little run in Australian golf.
Wow. That's brilliant, Rod. What do you play off these days?
Well, I've always been just a recreational player, and I've only just joined my local club at Kareela.
Oh, good on you.
Here in Sydney, and I'm a weekend hacker. I'm playing off 18 at the moment, but
Nice.
I hope to get better.
Well, I hope you
Work on
enjoy the
game.
club, Rod. It's one thing playing a bit of golf, but being social at our age, it's always a great thing to do to meet new people and play some golf and get out and exercise. It's good on you, and thanks for calling in. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Rod.
Thanks, Mark. Thanks, Nick.
Good on you.
Cheers.
How good's that?
What a star!
Yeah,
Absolutely
that's fantastic.
I love hearing those stories.
Yeah, and particularly about a guy like Jack Newton, who you don't hear a lot about these days. So obviously, he's passed now, but
It's funny. One of the things I can remember when I was a kid, because Mum and Dad were members at Huntingdale and the Australian Masters were there, we used to go down there and on the Saturday of the tournament, or maybe it was the Friday night, it was one of them, they used to do this big, exhibition. And I remember Sevi Ballesteros, he was, hitting one irons off one leg over the back fence of the driving range, and then he'd change legs and he'd hit one iron. No, as a little kid, I couldn't remember. Then I remember Lindsay Stephen would do all these amazing imitations.
Yeah.
He got a bucket of range balls and put them down his shirt.
Yeah.
Craig
Stedler. I remember that
did the
one.
Craig Stedler.
Yeah.
And then Bernard Langer would get out there and hit shots off his knees. And, on the Friday night of the Masters, they had more people down the driving range watching this, and then the Shark would get up and just start shaping drivers all over the place.
Yeah.
I mean, they all got involved. It was such a feature of the Masters back in those days.
And then Jack Newton, he became one of the best commentators around. Him and Sandy Roberts, remember those two? And he came with that phrase. What was the phrase that he used to say?
In the mayor's office.
Yeah, and that shot was commercially sound.
Commercially sound in the mayor's office.
Love that.
Funny. I was watching the golf commentary the other day, and an American said,
Really?
"That's in the mayor's office."
Oh, okay.
So all these little odes to Jack still are all over the place.
Brilliant.
And what a legend of Australian golf he was.
we might leave it there for the feedback pod. A reminder too, if anybody wants to enter our competition to play in the Vic PGA Pro-Am,
Yes.
still not too late.
Still time.
Take a picture of yourself wearing a pair of FootJoys, hitting the golf ball. Tell us about where you play and your handicap, and you'll go into that draw.
Yep.
Thank you, Dan.
By the way, we're going to draw the winner next week.
On air.
Okay.
Next week on the pod. Next week on the pod.
Can we get
Fabulous.
the defending champion of the Pro-Am part of the
yes.
Victorian
That's a
PGA,
good
Tim
idea.
Snow,
That is
to
a good
come
idea.
down and be our barrel girl
Absolutely.
to take out get the winner.
Yep,
That'd
very
be
nice.
good.
Very nice.
Catch you next time, folks.
Talk Birdie to Me with Nick O'Hearn and Mark Allen comes live from Titleist and FootJoy headquarters. And thanks to our fantastic partners. Titleist is the clear #1 ball in golf. FootJoy, the #1 shoe and glove in golf. BMW, luxury and comfort for the 19th hole. Ping, they'll help you play your best. Better, the fastest and easiest betting app in Australia. And the Golf Clearance Outlet, who beat everyone's prices. Wherever you listen or watch, we'd love you to subscribe and maybe leave a review. Talk Birdie to Me's executive producer is Dan Bradley at Kaizen Media, with sound design by Daryl Misson at loudzebra.com. And now from Titleist and FootJoy headquarters, that's been Talk Birdie to Me.
Oh my word.
Titleist GT, a new class of drivers.